In 1960, Bob Newhart won 3 Grammys for Button Down Mind, Button Down Mind Strikes Back, and Best New Artist. In 1998, he was again nominated for a Grammy for the Button Down Mind in Concert. This tells us 2 things. 1, Bob has material that is classic, and 2, he will do it over and over and over and over again until he wins an award.
I've worked with a lot of comedians, and many of them in my generation are, well, I've found them to be very, very, very needy emotionally. I know that's shocking. But not Bob. What a dream he is to work with. Bob Newhart is so above the cut. His barometer is so uncorrupted. He is so generous. He is so not needy. He's so effortlessly hilarious that every day when I came to work, I just marveled at him. And that kind of humility and lack of pretension, where the comedy is its own reward, is so rare that it makes me feel lucky to have encountered him at all. And so, Bob, thank you very, very much.
I'm so happy for you, and I think you well deserve the honor because you are indeed a special guy and a great friend, and I love you. That's it, Bob. You're not going to get any more from me.
He was always safe, you know, and he made you like him. When I used to turn on Bob Newhart, I liked him. You know, I sat there like this. And he was something like, to me, like Jack Benny. His gestures said more than his words. How he used to look at the camera, how he looked at the problem without saying, but you knew everything he was thinking. And that's something that I really admired about them. And that's something that I really try to do myself. Study these guys and always give tribute. You got to give tribute to these guys because without them, it'd be no me.
The first time I ever saw Bob Newhart was at Carnegie Hall. I had just listened to his album, Button Down Mind, and up until that time, my idea of stand-up comedy was a man in a tuxedo with a cigar who talked about his mother-in-law and his wife. And after hearing Bob Newhart, I never looked at comedy the same way again. It's like he opened a door to a room we never knew existed. But he came out, and his album had sold 1 million copies. He was at the crest of his popularity. And he looked around this beautiful room. Every seat was filled, and I looked at him. I said, here's a man at the peak of his career. And he said, well, at least they can't take this away from me. And I thought, how the hell tough a business is this? And maybe I should rethink getting into it. But Bob has always seemed uneasy around applause. I remember seeing him in a TV special. He came out to a great round of applause. When it died down, he said, thank you, I don't really deserve that, but then I have bursitis in my shoulder, and I don't really deserve that either. And I thought, what a wonderful self-effacing joke, and I always wanted to borrow that joke, but you don't steal from a Bob Newhart. There is honor among comedians. So Bob has been quite an inspiration to me throughout my career. You know who else has been a big inspiration to me? Oh, well, that's for another time. Anyway, Bob, I am honored to be asked to be part of this evening. I'm not so sure I really deserve this honor, but then I have some chronic tendonitis in my left knee. I'm not so sure I deserve that either. Whoops! Anyway, Bob, this is one more thing they can't take away from you. Congratulations.